Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to your Tuesday. Welcome to the morning show where we're here to wake you up, get things going in your day. I hope you're having an awesome start to your day already, whether you're watching this with us live or maybe you're checking this out later. However that works for you, I just, again, want you to have an awesome day. So right now we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok on my right here, looking at you. TikToking. I think I'm live. They've changed the interface a little bit, so that's cool. And of course, we're live on Clubhouse, where we've got the Clubhouse panel hanging out, making things happen. In fact, this morning we've got from Nashville, Lucian Linkus. What's up, man?
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
Doing good.
Good. Just keeping it moving.
Working out the pain.
Working out the pain. Yeah, we were talking a little bit before we got on the show. Lucian, would yesterday be considered a what's Brooklyn call that? A PR?
Yeah. It hit me that's my mileage record went down in my running, and I set a record for my core workout, which is my strength. I do that while I'm strength training. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. I love that. Lucian, you were a part of something yesterday that I thought was kind of cool. We don't have to talk about that today, but I think it's worth mentioning. We had a Zoom with all those that were available in our 30-day challenge group. And basically on that Zoom, we talked about, we gave everyone the opportunity to share what changed for them, the kind of results they got, just giving everyone an opportunity to kind of share what worked, didn't work, all that good stuff. And it was really encouraging for me to just kind of hear the different changes, not just in the body, but in the mind. And, maybe you could kind of share a little bit about, what happened with you and, how 30 days of digging into a challenge, what that's done for you, not just physically, but emotionally, with this idea of getting better.
Absolutely. Well, it's been of course, I knew years ago when, honestly, to be transparent, years ago when I went on an Atkins diet, I went through a very low spot in my life. It was a very hard time in my life at that time. And so I've been told that, living a healthier life, exercise, and lower sugar diet, lower carbohydrate diet, if that's something you struggled with, also helped your mind, helped mentally. I heard testimonials of people like it cured my depression. And I remember how much that took effect to me. I came out so much more positive, and it really kind of brought me out of a depressing time in my life and just a very low point, and changing my style of living, my lifestyle. Of course, years later, life happens and everything, but you fall off the wagon, sort of say. But
sure,
get older, have kids, work full time, and then some. So
right.
But this I've really seen take effect of. It's just changed me mentally. Not only am I seeing results physically, but I feel the change mentally. That's been the biggest win for me. And it's not that I'm a negative person. I've tried to always live a positive life. But I said this weeks ago on a Sunday morning on Clubhouse. I think clear. I don't know why. I just think clear, and it's just, and I've referred to this a lot during the process. I've been cleaning out the junk drawer.
Yeah.
When you declutter, when you get rid of the things you shouldn't be eating, things you shouldn't, that's just weighing you down. Like I say, you are what you eat. And so I feel like that's all taking a toll. But the natural, just getting out there and doing anything, whether it's a light day or it's a heavy day, I just feel different. But it's just also brought more clarity mentally and just opened my eyes to so many more things of I go back to Ecclesiastes 9, seizing life. It's just seizing everything and enjoying the life to the fullest that God gave you. You know, it's all about the commitment. You know, this month's about staying committed, recommitting yourself, and it's if you're only going to get out of something what you put into it.
For sure.
You can't expect a return unless you are committed and stay focused. And, you know, long term, you know, I thought about this last week. I've had employees. I'm the operations manager where I work in my company now. I worked for 7 years in one department, was lead guy in my department, my area. I was the guy that did that job. I never complained. I always just gave it my best. You know, I'm like, this is who I am. It's what I do. It's what God's blessed me with the talent to do. And so I was content. And so but I gave it my best. I never complained about it. I was committed to that position. Well, unbeknownst to me, 8 years later, I made the operations manager. And you know, something I never expected to happen. But they saw my commitment. They saw my loyalty, and that paid off. And that's not bragging on me. It's a testimony of commitment, in my opinion. And
sure.
So I think about Moses. Moses was happy, and I said this a few weeks ago. Moses was fine. He had a good job, had a beautiful wife, had a father-in-law that was let him run his farm, and he was fine. And so he was committed to that. But there was more for him because he was a committed individual. God will. And I thought about it running yesterday, and I applied it to everything we do. God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him.
Yeah.
Diligence is commitment.
Yeah. That's true, man. And that's one of them adult words. Diligence. Yeah. You know, we don't call this explicit because it's adult language here. I love it. Martinez just hopped in here. Martinez Rory from Nashville. What's up, dude?
Morning, Nash. Vegas morning, fellas. Enjoying the good work. Just trying to hang in there and soak it all in on that. That's some good stuff there.
Come on. Matter of fact, we got Alina Roberts on Facebook. She said, that's good. She agrees. By the way, good morning, Alina. Hope you guys are doing awesome this morning. Dude, that's so good. So Martinez, let me kind of tee you up here. We're talking about some of the wins. We were able to put together a Zoom yesterday on Telegram for the 30-day challenge. And, just those that were available, awesome. Had a great conversation about just sharing different wins and how much it's changed everyone just by diving into this, committing to this. And Lucian, man, he was very encouraging yesterday about how it's changed him to be, not that he wasn't positive. Lucian, is this a fair statement? It's not that you were not positive, but maybe you stepped into the feeling of positivity. Is that like a fair description?
Absolutely.
Like it was something that wasn't just intellectual, it was emotional. You just felt better. You were more, all of that. And that's how I describe it. I describe it as being like I've tapped into that emotion of those things. Taking a mindset and actually stepping into it. But anyways, he was talking about that and just how much he said, I think clearer. Like I can think more clearly. So I just thought that was some really good stuff. And you definitely were a part of this. And I don't know what would you add to that conversation? How would you add, this idea of taking a specific amount of time to get better and what you have found, whether it was in this challenge or even previous times? What does it mean to you to get better and experience that improvement?
Yeah, well, I want to say first too, man, I meant to be on that discussion you all had, and I actually just plain out forgot about it, and would have loved to have been a part of it, but be the will of God. Maybe there'll be some other ones down there, and
For sure.
It'll help me, order my steps to be more organized or what have you. But man, in regards to the challenge, in regards to what Lucian and you guys been talking about, just to give you some background, I wouldn't say always have been kind of health conscious or active, but I've always been health conscious and active. But
sure.
In ways that I knew it's a priority, and I just and so when we started the 30-day water challenge and a 30-day challenge for exercise or what have you, I've been there all my life on the most part, but the thing that helped me recognize what I got out of the 30-day challenge was, okay, so what? You've been doing this for a while. So what? You've been doing this all your life. So what? Your mind is there, but are you telling me that you are excellent in all thy ways as it relates to mind, fitness, and health?
Right.
Spiritual, and so and the answer was absolutely not. And so my takeaway was, okay, you've given, God's given you a consciousness, the gift of being aware and how important this is in life, but have you been found faithful in this area? I mean, you might have been good, but can you be great at it? And so if anything, the challenge let me, on just reading and being a part, is letting me know I had holes, and that I could, wherever I am, I can take it up another level.
Yeah.
And create another baseline of performance, and to be honest, one of them was, hey, not being faithful and diligent about drinking water, and I think obviously I think the drinking water and stuff like that helped me a whole lot in areas such as my flexibility. I think that's helped me. I think it's helped me, and actually in my digestive, my, cleansing out and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's something that I need to continue to do.
Yeah.
And I will continue to do it. And the thing that's like you Lucian shared, as far as helping you think clearer and helping you, be more clutter-free in your mind, and that is absolutely 100% true. Getting out there on an early morning run or working out, it helps you understand, listen, you are on a quest in life that requires you every day to cut the fat. Anytime I'm out there running, anytime I'm out there working out, every time I'm drinking water, it's symbolic that I have to do my part to fight against whatever things that want to cling on to me that aren't healthy.
Yeah.
That are not part of a legitimate regimen of being better.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're purposeful here as it relates to running. You're purposeful here as it relates to, eating the right foods. But can you be purposeful in your what goes in your mind, what you read, what you're listening to, who you're hanging out with, and who you're talking to, and it's interesting. It's kind of coincidental, but for the first time in my life, in my entire life, I told someone that I can no longer have them in my circle.
Dang.
That person did not provide the right energy and the right input into my life.
Yeah.
Particularly now being a married man. And so
got it.
you know, and so I've never done that. Now, guess what? I probably should have done that 1,000 times before.
Man,
past,
I hear you.
But you know, you're gonna, you know, my point being is like the 30-day challenge. It taught me like to take up my commitment another level, not just as it relates to health, but also mental, spiritual, and they be better. And some of that requires you being able to say, you know, add another layer of no to your life.
Yeah.
Adding another layer of this is enough.
Yeah.
Have another layer of click, which provides another layer of clarity.
Yeah.
Because there's, I know, and it applies. I know it applies in our social realm, but it's, you've heard that saying like, the people you are hanging out around right now, or the people. If you want to look at your future, look at the people that you're hanging out with now.
Dude, that's strong. And Martinez, I got to tell you right now, I got somebody on TikTok right now. He just said, dude knows what he's talking about. He said, stay focused. And by the way, shout out to Tony, International Space Station planner. We think you're out of this world, man.
Out of the world.
Come on, man. Seriously, thanks for being a part. That's awesome. Glad you're here. Dude, that took some that took some backbone to do that. I mean, wow. For sure, man. That was, I tell you what that really says. And it goes along with what Tony just comments. Like, dude, you were so committed to what you wanted that you were focused enough to say, there's no more negotiation on this.
Right.
And it's funny, you just said something that I listened to, and I'm like, I need to keep that in mind. You said, probably should have done that a long time ago. If I'm being honest, the signs have always been there. I just never did that. You know what I mean? Like, right. That's pretty good stuff. It's funny because where you're talking, you're, as far as like that, identifying those things that I want to make sure I'm doing. I want to make sure I'm diligent in. I've heard those different words today. This was a part of my reading this morning, and I'm just going to drop this on you because, man, it hit me today. Like, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. All right, this is Proverbs 4:26, and I could put this in a comment or something later. But here's the proverb: ponder the path of your feet, then your ways will be sure. Ponder the path of you, and the thing that's interesting, he's talking about, beware of the ways of the wicked. This is what they're going to do, and they're not happy. They can't sleep unless they're making others to stumble. He said, but hear my instructions. Do what's right. Do all those things. And by the way, ponder the path of your feet. In other words, what steps are you taking? Have you thought about the steps you're taking? Are you thinking about what's next?
Right.
Or left? Could be either one. Dude, I'm just making. Oh, dude, I love it. Oh man, but the point is, your ways will be sure. Your ways will be sure. Tony said he had a poster of a space station on his wall when he was 15, and now he works for the space station. That's killer. You talk about focus, dude. That's killer. He just dropped us a verse too. He says, "I live by Romans 3:23." I'm bringing it. Tony, you a part of the show, man. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Dude, love it. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. For sure. Love that, Tony.
Is that Romans he was talking about?
Yep. 3:23. Drop this on us, brother Tony. I love it. That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
But yes, thank you. But yeah, man, I just man, that's just some good stuff, guys. Because I'll be honest with you, the past few days I've not been very focused, and I've caught myself. Like, when I say caught myself, like I've become aware of it, and now I'm like, I need to rethink some of my steps here. Like Martinez, you rethought some relationships. That's tough because that could be, is it fair to say that like, oh, not only is this like, you know, a circle, like relationships are like Venn diagrams, you know, they all just connect, you know, there's always this like, you know what I mean? But that's tough.
I tell you, I that's not my character, and I hated doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I'm one of those people who love, there's not a person on this earth that I have any ill will, and I don't have any ill will against this person at all either. But, you know, there's no, I've always been a kind of like water off the duck's back kind of stuff like that. You know?
Right.
And I still am. But, like, again, I have to give consideration to the fact that I am now responsible for, or at least have to be sensitive to not just, I have to be sensitive to my wife now, you know? And so I can't have, and guess what? As I have children, I'll probably have to take another step.
Yep.
Of, okay, you know, being strategic and where you place your assets, you know?
Yeah, that's
share your
true.
assets too. And so, but going back to your scripture, I mean, you know, as it relates to your ways and knowing your steps and it, you know, it put me in the mind of, you know, that other scripture. It talks about in all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy paths, you know?
Yeah.
Right. And that, I'll be transparent. I'm guilty of not doing that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
Just, and you know, Lucian talked about commitment. I think, like, when you make a commitment to anything, then what happens is you start also peeling the layers back to, like, why you're making a commitment, to who will this benefit, and if it doesn't come back somehow to, you know, I'm honoring the Lord in my commitment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to glorify him with the efforts that I have. Then, you know, you'll make progress, but it won't be the progress that has that supernatural. You know, it sometimes that progress that you're making, it'll be more mechanical versus just coming together like fluid. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because just because you desire to honor the Lord in it, you know, you know, I think there's fruit in all labor and there's fruit in all commitment, but then, like, it's who is the motivating force and the motivating source that you utilize that will make the difference.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. We got here, man, we're just getting connected with Tony over here. Tony says, man, love for you both, and we need to be here for each other. Totally agree. And congratulations to your son, Tony. Just graduated this Friday, and I believe he's going to the Army. So we appreciate his service. And Colorado Christian University grad right here. That's awesome. That's awesome, Tony. I just friended you, so we'll have to stay connected, man. And that's what I love about doing this show and just kind of throwing it out there to any and all platforms, because you just never know who you're going to, you know, serendipitously connect with or whatever kind of fancy term you want to say. You know, it's just it's good stuff. Oh man, it's probably not even the right word. It's probably the wrong context. It just hit my brain and I went.
It still was the fancy.
I put the dippy. I put the dippy in serendipitous. Oh man, I love it.
But you're absolutely right. That's wonderful that you can connect to someone across the West Coast, I guess.
Yeah.
That they're wanting to share.
Yeah, I think that's cool,
but yeah,
man.
Congratulations to his son and prayers for him and a productive career in the Army.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I want to piggyback on something Martinez was saying, and that was so true. And this goes back to a conversation we had on our Zoom call last night is, if you're not committed to anything, you'll allow anything and anybody in. If you're not committed to a relationship with God, you're going to allow any toxin or toxic people in your life. If you're not committed to a healthy lifestyle, you're going to allow toxins to come in your body, and that's what's going to sludge you down. It's what's going to, you're not going to have no motivation, and it affects it. So me and my wife sat down and we're like, okay, we've been in this thing for a month and a half to 2 months. And so what do we feel like? Well, if we do this, I feel like we would have these kind of results. So what you were doing was you're committed to something now, something new in your life, Martinez. So you're like, you know what? This commitment is causing me to say these things are not valuable in my life at this point, and I need to lay aside every weight that might be besetting me what I'm committed to. Amen.
Yeah.
And so it's the foods, if they are becoming weighty, And so
I'm gonna say it, those that wait upon the Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That was my synopsis. It was agreeing with you, and if you are committed to something, it's going to show up. People are going to see it. I mean, I thought this a lot about Jason. The positivity is contagious. You'll either run from it, or you'll follow with it, follow along with it.
Oh yeah.
I said yesterday. I said, even me when you're not committed to something, you will attack and you will find fault in other people who are committed. You will make every excuse and they're just doing this for that. Oh, they think, you will try to justify your non-commitment as much as possible because others are committed, and you're not holding yourself accountable.
I agree with that completely because I've been there, and if you take a step back, the human nature in that is actually pretty simple. Because here's the deal, it's actually in a sense kind of a good thing, and what I mean is the fact that you are trying to, in other words, here's what you're doing. You are seeing somebody do something that you subconsciously, internally know is good. You should do it, and you're not. And instead of making yourself wrong, you have to find a way to, like you said, justify yourself. So what happens is you have to make the other person wrong, because if they're right, you're wrong. But if you can make them wrong, you're right. So I actually, and I say that to say this, number one, that's something that I think we all work on. Like, we have to acknowledge and battle, but I also have empathy for anyone that, you can tell, right? You can just kind of tell there's this sense of agitation or sense of like, there's always those little comments. So it's like, I feel sorry for that person because they're in an internal battle that they don't maybe even realize just yet. And so hopefully we could just, what you're saying, we're going to stand our ground. We're going to be who we are, and let that shift happen. Tony says you will believe in anything when you have nothing to believe in. I agree. I agree completely. I agree. It's 7:30. Powerful 30 minutes. I love these conversations. By the way, Tony, just let me tell you what you stumbled into on this deal. We basically are just a bunch of friends that we have conversations in the morning, about 30 minutes from 7 a.m. Central Standard Time to about 7:30. Sometimes it goes a little longer, right, if we've got a little extra time. But I know this. We've stumbled into this, and to what they're saying, I find myself drawn to these conversations with great people that now I'm going to go throughout my day thinking better, challenged to do better, not in an abusive, like, hey, whatever, but like I'm encouraged to do better. And now I've got something to push me forward. So would love to have you show up again, be a part. And it's great. It's great. So awesome. All right. Well, guys, I say we wrap this up. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, if it's still on there. I don't even know. I'm just totally messing with that thing. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I want you to be great, be blessed, and we're going to catch you here later.